at the New York Stock Exchange highlighting Rare Disease Day. We are joined now by Amy Atkinson from the Danon Foundation. Amy, first let's start by informing our viewers a little bit more about the importance behind Rare Disease Day and bringing awareness to these issues.
While individual rare diseases are uncommon, they're more impactful than you realize. Most people are affected by a rare disease that they don't even realize, whether it's a loved one or a family member. And what we hope to take away is to get awareness out there, to get funding for research, and ultimately potential treatments for our families.
And Danon disease, this disease has very rare conditions. Talk to me a little bit more about the symptoms.
So usually it comes on with the heart, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and then we go into genetic testing. But it also affects the eyes, it affects the learning ability, and it affects the muscles. So it is a compound of everything. The heart is the biggest issue and where it's mostly diagnosed.
Can you share a little bit more about how you specifically have been affected by Danon's disease?
So females usually get it after puberty. Males usually get it directly because it's an X chromosome disease. My daughter was diagnosed at the age of 5 with Danon disease, originally with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy at 4, and then the Danon disease diagnosis a year later. At the age of 11, as we started into puberty and the life changes, her heart went into failure. We immediately got on the transplant list, and ultimately when she got her gift of a new heart, she did not wake up from surgery.
With going through that experience, what do you hope viewers take away from this day, your personal story, and how can the community help?
For me itself, at the time when Delaney went through everything that she went through, we was alone. I'm from Utah. There was nobody in Utah diagnosed with this disease at that time. So when I say I was alone, I was completely alone. I had amazing doctors that worked with us, but I went to Facebook and searched for people.
I was just going to say, how did you get through this devastating time?
Yeah, if it wasn't for Facebook, I connected with an amazing lady in Colorado who her family struggles with Danon disease. She got me connected with a couple of doctors that associated with it. Therefore, I felt like I wasn't alone no more. I had a support system.
What is the most common misconception, would you say, about this disease?
With Danon itself, there's no personal trait that you can't see it. It's a heart condition. So for that aspect, I think every person who has a heart condition should get a genetic test, because there's so many rare diseases that come from a heart condition that you don't know what you have until you get that genetic testing.
And it starts with awareness. It starts here.
Yes.
By people like you sharing your story, your trials, your tribulations, and, coming to us to share the story, to educate our viewers, because, that can then lead to conversations, treatment options, research, funding, and you're contributing to that.
Correct.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Taking Stock. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.